Hello, travelers. Welcome to Reach the World. For over 20 years, Reach the World has used virtual exchange to inspire youth to become curious, confident, and compassionate global citizens. My name is Tim, and I'm glad you're joining us for today's Meet the World live stream event. The Meet the World program builds positive personal connections between students in the US and global cultures, all through direct interactions with real people who are excited to share their countries and cultures with you. For a complete listing of upcoming Meet the World live stream events, you can visit athome.reachtheworld.org. Today we're traveling to Turkey with Fulbright foreign language teaching assistant Begüm Serdidi. She's going to fix that last name for me. Sorry, Begüm. My apologies. Begüm is from Istanbul, Turkey. She's currently teaching Turkish language at New York University in New York, New York. And she's joining us today from New York to tell us more about her home country and culture and to answer any questions you may have about Turkey. Before I turn things over to her, though, I want to quickly welcome the teachers and students who are watching today's Meet the World live stream event. Please feel free to use the YouTube chat bar on the right-hand side of your screen to let us know you're here, where you're joining from, and of course, to share any questions you have for our guests as we go. We'll get to as many questions as we can in the next 30 minutes or so. And without any further delay, I think it's time for us to journey to Turkey. Begüm, welcome to Reach the World.
Thank you so much. Today I will be talking about Turkey and its culture. And I'm really happy to be here. And I will try to point some important points, actually not just important, but the ones that I find different and amazing. So I would like to share these cultural things with all people. So I think it's going to be nice.
Fantastic. Well, we're glad you're here. If you want to share your screen and dive right in, we're ready to go.
Sure. So can you see it?
Yes, looks great.
Okay, so here we are. Today I'll be talking about Turkey and its culture. And as you see, I have put some attractive picture that you may have some guess about what I'm going to talk about. So let's start. So first, I want to tell you about the location of Turkey, and it's in the Middle East, but I have a big map of the earth here, and actually it may not be perfectly sized, but you can at least recognize Turkey here. It has also some land in Europe and some land in Asia, which I'm going to talk about. And for me, the interesting part of our country is that we have two Bosporuses. So these Bosporuses just divide country into two parts. So one is in Istanbul here, and other one is here in Çanakkale. So in this way, we can both travel to two continents. And I'm going to talk about Istanbul today, which include both continents at the same time. So both Asia and Europe. And except for that, let's move on to the slide that you have already shown. Turkey has 7 regions, and these regions are like Marmara region, Black Sea region, Central Anatolia, Aegean region, Mediterranean, Southeastern, and Eastern. So they have their own distinct cultures and styles, different kind of food and music, and maybe the style of talking, the accents, dialects are different. So I want to just basically talk about them, but first I want to show you a brief picture from each region. But first, I will talk about 81 cities. In Turkey, we don't have states. There's no state in Turkey, just cities. So Istanbul, as I told you, it's here, and this is the most famous one. Most of the people know, and the others are also very distinct and attractive with their resources and with agriculture, with history. It has many cultural things. So there are three most popular cities. They are Istanbul, Ankara, and Izmir. Actually, they are the biggest and most popular ones, and they are also crowded when compared to other cities. And they are the biggest ones. But most of the time today we'll be talking about Istanbul, because when people want to visit Turkey, they most of the time go to Istanbul first. Even though there are lots of things to see in other cities, we will basically focusing on Istanbul. But first, let's talk about the regions that I told you in my previous slides. So here is a picture from Black Sea region. So it's full of forests, and when you say Black Sea, it means that it's green all the way. Mountains and forests and pine trees everywhere. And these are some houses from that country, and this is very famous place that people go and have breakfast or have tea to take pictures. And you can see clouds here. Sometimes you cannot even see down there because of the clouds. So it has really amazing view. When it comes to Aegean region, we have more seasides and historical places, and you can have a good holiday there. There are lots of coasts. You can have a ship tour. And summertime, it's full of tourists. And as I told you before, it has also many historical places like Ephesus, or libraries and ancient ruins from ancient times, very old times. So when it comes to Marmara region, I mostly focus on Istanbul, and here is a picture from one of the historical places. Here we have some ships where you can have some fish and bread. This is very famous, and I'll be talking about Istanbul more in the coming slides. And when it comes to Central Anatolia, one of the most popular place is Cappadocia, and many people go there to have a balloon tour because it has very, very, very old times, caves, houses, and yeah, it's really amazing. When you go there, you feel like you come to another world, not a country. So you may have balloon tours, you may have horse tours between those caves. So we have Mediterranean region, and here is also a coast, and it's very hot when it's compared to other parts of Turkey. And in summertime, as I told you, there are lots of tourists, and you can swim, you can have a ship tour, you can have different travels in these region, because it has also many waterfalls, ancient ruins coming from old times. Actually, we call Asian part of Turkey as Anatolia instead of saying Asia, because Anatolia is kind of a resource of so many years before. It was full of different people, different cultures, different communities. So it's kind of a mixture of everything. And wherever you go, you're gonna find something to be amazed. So Eastern Anatolia is not so green, as I told you, for Black Sea region, because the climate is quite dry there, but it has the highest mountain. And actually it has a myth, maybe I can say that the nose ship, the manager ship just stuck on that mountain. It was full of water and it stuck on that mountain. So we had it. And there is a beautiful palaces and buildings made many years ago. Also, we have southeastern Anatolia, and in this region, we have also different kind of historical structures. Besides that, the population is quite different. You may see some people talking Arabic there because it's really close to Arabic countries. So it's kind of a mixture of people here. So now I'm going to talk about Istanbul, as I told you before. In Istanbul, we have a Bosphorus, and you can see here in the picture that it just divides two continents. So actually, most of the time, people think that this is a river, but actually it's not. It's a sea. It's Marmara Sea, and it connects Black Sea. So when you come to Istanbul, you will see many ships telling you that come for Bosphorus tour. And if you want to have a good sight seeing with a ship, it's an amazing experience. And sometimes people ask me, is there a kind of competition between European and Asian side? And I say, no, we don't even realize it because everybody is just commuting between two places. There is no distinction. So here we have Golden Horn. This is called Golden Horn, European side. And this one is historical place where many tourists visit. And I will also show the picture of the Golden Horn because it's kind of a crack in Europe that sea goes inside. So yeah, and we have 3 bridges actually connecting these 2 continents. And when it comes to night, the bridges are being lighted with many different colors, which is amazing. So I have taken some pictures of Turkey's streets, and I have tried to choose the best ones that I like, which are more authentic that I found. And these are streets of Istanbul, most of them. When you walk by, you can just encounter a sea sight because all the streets some kind of have a vision for sea. In Istanbul, it's very common thing. And when you go walk by these historical buildings, you're gonna feel the sense of Ottoman culture. So which is also nice. And I know that in the US it was not so popular to eat out before coronavirus. Now everybody has some chairs and tables out to have outdoor dining, but we have it for many years. So it's kind of culture here. We eat outside when it's summertime or when the weather is fine, because people do not like to be inside. They want to be interacting or communicating with other people. So I have a picture of Istanbul here. This is Galata Tower, which is very famous, and we have a story about that. Actually, it's also a myth, I can say. It's like when you go with your beloved one up here, you're gonna get married with him or her. And here is the golden horn that I told you about. And we have ancient, not ancient, but historical things here like Hagia Sophia, Topkapi Palace, which belonged to Ottoman Empire, some very famous mosques like Blue Mosque that I'm going to tell about. And ships are everywhere. Buses are everywhere, metro is everywhere, so people like traveling a lot, and the distance is not that far. Actually, it's big, very big, but it's not like that you can't walk. Sometimes you can walk from here to here. Maybe it will take time, but you'll enjoy seeing some things. So I'm going to tell you about Topkapi Palace. So this is also a touristic attraction. Here it's gates. And when it was Ottoman Empire before Turkish Republic, some sultans, rulers were living here with their families, with lots of loyal people. And here I have a picture of women's part of the palace. Because of being Muslim, men and women were sitting separately. And for sultans or sultans' wives, they were just living or staying in these kind of rooms. Actually, it's not so proper to say them rooms because they are huge and they have good engravings with some different shapes. And here is the picture of the palace from far away. You can also have the sea when you go there. You're gonna have a great view. So it's also topic for many series. And for example, this Muhteşem Museum means like magnificent century is kind of very famous around Europe, Africa, Middle East, Russia, and they really like it. Actually, Turkish series are so famous all around the world. So I have a quite small scene here. Here is the Sultan's wife, and she is walking, and others are just showing respect by just bowing a bit. So yeah. The other thing that I also already told you is Sultanahmet Mosque. We call it Sultanahmet, but actually touristically named Blue Mosque. Because why it's called Blue Mosque is that it has blue engravings inside, and it's really amazing. And when you go there, you can see people praying, and also you can see many tourists taking pictures of the mosque. And even they're not tourists outside. Even people, when they go inside, they're just get amazed and they take pictures. And it's very, very big, and you can see the picture of it from far away. It has kind of a garden style here, but it's not a garden actually. There are some taps to get clean before praying, and there's a fountain, and inside you can pray. And it's created by architect Sinan, and it's kind of a very, very famous architect of Turkey. And most of the amazing buildings are made from him. So there are another topic that I want you, because I told you about Istanbul, but sometimes when you get bored of Istanbul and when you want to have a breath, we have Prince Islands. So Prince Islands are like these. There are many ships going there, and when you go to Prince Islands, what can you do? You can swim if it's summertime. You can have a good view if you climb up, because the islands are like this. They have hills. If you climb up the hills, you're gonna see the beautiful view. Even if you don't, you can see sea from everywhere. And you may have horse car tours. But now they have a different system. Now we have open buses, which goes slowly, and you can see the view. The houses here are different than Istanbul, because it has a kind of culture of Christian people from old times, because Ottoman Empire has kind of mix of all religions and cultures. So you can see the signs of them everywhere. So so it's a good place to go, especially for weekends, but there might be a lot of tourists or people who may think same as you, and you can have a breakfast or But how will you go there? We'll go by ship. There's no other way because they are islands. And here you can also see a sea from Golden Horn, and here is the tower that I mentioned. And when you get the ships there, you will see many seagulls coming with you. And what do? We have kind of a bagel that I'll be talking about, and we just take a piece of it and throw to the gulls. So they catch on the air and they become full, you enjoy your time. So it's kind of mutual relation. So Now I want to talk about something pretty different, which is a Turkish coffee. I maybe it's just sharp passing, but yeah, let's talk about it. So Turkish coffee is so famous, and it has many meanings, except for just being coffee. For example, when two people wants to get married, groom's family comes to bride's family to ask for permission before the marriage. So can we get married? So it's kind of a thing. And during this procedure, brides cook Turkish coffee for the relatives or the family of the groom and for groom as well. So, but just for groom, they add salt inside instead of putting sugar. They sometimes they just exaggerated it and put a lot of salt, and it's like yuck. So if the groom can drink it all, it gives you a kind of sense that he can stand your frowns, your bad sides. He can show his mercy and love to you. It's kind of a message. So they do it. But the poor grooms, after drinking coffee, are like that. So they are drinking it, but it's some kind of disgusting because it's salty. And sometimes, as I told you, they just some brides exaggerated and put a lot, and some brides puts even some salt in the water. So whatever the groom does, nothing changed. So it's a tradition, and most of the time they're taking pictures of videos of groom to show that this kind of things are happening. So another topic about coffee is fortune telling. So you're gonna say, how you can tell a fortune with a coffee? But it's like that. After drinking Turkish coffee, it has kind of deep coffee core here. I don't know how to describe it. And you just turn the cup to the plate, and you leave it until it dries and until it becomes cold. After becoming cold, you're gonna see some shapes like these here. So it's quite fun. Even it's not true. People say some things about each other's coffee cups. For example, oh, there is a heart here. You're gonna fall in love. Or there is a letter here. It is a H. So you're gonna get married with a person whose name starts with H. So it's kind of just saying those kind of things. Some people believe it, some people just having fun. And there are also some apps. You are sending pictures and you're asking, tell me. So it's quite fun. Now I'm going to talk about the feasts of Turkey. Actually, we have some national days and some religious days. And I will be talking religious days today. They are called Ramadan feast and sacrifice feast. Some Arabic people also call them Eid, but we say Bayram for that one. Actually, there are lots of children coming to your door knocking like trick or treat. Hey, you open the door, kids are over there, and you give them some chocolate and candies, some kind of, actually we can just match it with trick or treat, but it's in the morning and it's for just celebrating each other. So, and actually the day starts with a morning prayer. So we as Muslims have to pray for 5 times a day. And for morning pray, depending on the religious calendar, the time of the feasts can change. So according to the changing time, morning pray time also changes because sometimes sun rises at 7 a.m., sometimes 6 a.m., but we should do it before sun rises. So not women in Turkey, just men, go to mosque to pray together. And then for feasts, normally women also can go to mosques, but for feasts in the morning, men go to the mosque. And when they come back, they have breakfast with their families, with relatives, and actually the main thing here is to celebrate each other and show respect, show your love to your relatives and to your family. And older people generally wait you to come and visit them. And when you come, you're going to be welcomed with some Turkish delights, some candies, chocolates, and other treats that I'll be talking about. And what do you do when you go to your elder relatives? You kiss their hands and put on your forehead. So this is a kind of tradition that younger ones kiss the hands of elders and put on their foreheads. So it's just showing a respect to them. But you don't need to be a kid to do that. I can also do for my grandparents or for my parents. Even my parents can do for their parents. So it's kind of a age-old hierarchy. So here we say İyi bayramlar means happy feasts, or actually it's like feast is bayram. So feasts, have a good feast or something like that. Yeah, and interesting thing is that when you kiss the hands as a child, not as an adult, you can get money from the elder ones. They're gonna give you money as a as a treat. So yeah, this is the reason. So what are you going to have when you go and visit relatives in or friends or neighbors in feasts? So there are some specific Turkish food that you may encounter when you go visit your loved ones. So here are the names. Baklava is well known for all over the world, so I'm not going to talk about it. But sarma is quite different. Sarma means like wrapped. So there are grape leaves, and there are some rice inside with spices. It's hard to do like this. And you cook it, and then you just leave it to be cold because it's eaten cold. And then you just eat it, and it's amazing. It's loved by many people. And we have börek. It's kind of made of a dough, and there might be cheese or ground meat inside. So it depends on how you do it. You can put spinach or whatever you want. So these are kind of famous things you may see in Turkey. So when we talk about food, I want to talk about Turkish breakfast here, which is found very surprising by most of the foreigners, because they said that how do you eat all of these things at the same time? And we're like, yeah, we got used to it. You don't need to finish all these olives, but you can just put your fork on some of them, since you taste all of them together. We have some salty stuff, some sweet stuff, and we have the specific glass for drinking tea. And Turkish tea is very important. It's black tea, and it's also coming from Black Sea region. So it's called black tea. But you don't need to say black tea to have this. If you say tea in Turkey, this is the thing that will be coming. So yeah. So and also Sunday breakfasts are very important. You can have breakfast for hours. And if you go to a restaurant or a place like this, and here is the bridge, one of the bridges of Bosphorus, and you may have many different things like jams, honey, olives, cheese, different kind of cheeses, and tomatoes, cucumbers, whatever you want. You can add whatever you want. Some hot stuff, some cold stuff. So yeah, one of the hot stuff is kuymak. It's famous in Black Sea region. It has some corn flour and different type of cheese inside. And when you try to eat it, it's like that, and it's very delicious. You just get a piece of bread and you can just eat it with your bread. People just do it like that, and you're gonna enjoy just doing something like that with your fork. So other things are like menemen. And menemen, there is a kind of joke in Turkey. What is the food that you eat just for men? The food which is eaten just by men. So it's like menemen. So it's cold, but it's like that. What is inside? It has tomatoes, peppers, and eggs, of course, some butter. But there is a discussion whether it should be with onions or without. People are divided into two, with onions and without onions for menemen. So it's kind of an important point. And egg with sucuk. Sucuk is kind of a sausage, but with a lot of spices. So it's a different kind thing, special to Turkey and maybe some Middle Eastern parts. And we don't have bagels in Turkey. We have simit inside. Instead, I'm sorry. Instead of saying bagel or eating bagel, we say simit, and it's quite different. It also has hole inside. It has sesame around and some pekmez. We call it pekmez, but I think there is no translation of it. Maybe we can say boiled grape juice, but it's very boiled and it's very dark, and sweet. But it's not so sweet. It's just kind of a dough that you can eat in any time. And what is it famous for is that you can just go to the seaside with some simit and teas, and this is very famous tower which is called Maiden Tower inside the sea. So you will see the view and you will drink your teas and have some simit. So that's all. Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, I'm here to answer.
All right, Begüm, thank you so much. What a great presentation. If you want to come out of screen share,
Sure.
we can get you up on the screen. That was fantastic. I'm so hungry now. Like you did that to me right before my lunch. But the food all looks amazing. I have a couple of questions that I know students are going to want to hear. Well, you started off by saying that Istanbul really straddles two continents. Is there a spot on a bridge somewhere where you can have 1 foot in Europe and 1 foot in Asia? Does such a spot exist?
Actually, no, because it's not that close. It's close, but it's like we use kilometers instead of saying miles. So maybe I can say it's 1 mile or something like that. So it's really impossible to put your 1 foot over there, another one over there. So maybe you can just go to the bridge.
I had to ask because students would want to do that if that was an option.
Yeah.
I think it's
I also
really
like to.
there are a lot of students who just love history, and one of the things I picked up in your presentation is that you if you love history, you're going to love Turkey because so many points of history from super ancient history to more modern history have come through Turkey. It's such a crossroads of people and ideas. Do you have a favorite historical site?
Actually, first civilizations are in Anatolia, so it's quite exciting that we have some place which have 7 civilizations upon. So they are just craving and they found one civilization and they just go to dig inside and they found another one, and it's in Çanakkale. Çanakkale is like Dardanelles. So it's very amazing, where also you can see Truva horse. I don't know whether you have heard about it, about what during an ancient war there was a horse that they put inside some warriors, and there was a kind of interesting story.
Troy, right? The Trojan horse.
Yeah. We call it Truva horse. So the city over there, which is so old, there are 7 layers, And also I can talk about Cappadocia, because when you go there, you're gonna see an underlined city. So there are so narrow streets, and when you just go downstairs, you can have attack because it's so narrow. But when you go inside, you're gonna see that how people lived here in these caves, just down the ground. So it's amazing. I suggest everybody to go there.
Okay, so history lovers have to go to Turkey for
Yeah.
sure. People who love delicious food have to go to Turkey for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
I wondered if you could describe what Istanbul sounds like. There's some distinct sounds I feel like that are in Istanbul, something that students who are in the U.S. May not hear on a daily basis.
Sounds, you say?
Yeah, sorry, I'm speaking specifically about like the call to prayer during the day.
Oh, praying sounds, yes. For example, I told you that we pray for 5 times a day, and for each time there is a kind, not Quran, but a religious saying to call people for praying, and it's just announced everywhere, and all the mosques just start to read it together with a kind of synchronization. It's not like reading, but it's kind, there's a synchron. So you're gonna feel different when you just hear all the mosques at the same time saying the same thing, that telling you that it's time for praying. Yeah, this is interesting.
It's very cool. I think it's really striking too, and you did a great job of going over the different areas, regions of Turkey, that you can go from bright blue Mediterranean coast to forest-covered mountains to like very arid, dry desert, all within the same country.
Exactly. So when you go to the Black Sea region, it's gonna be green, rainy, and mountains and different style. But when you go to, for example, a Mediterranean side, you're gonna see people just having sun baths and very hot weather, some waterfalls, ancient things. But when you go to east, you're gonna see people just in mountains without any green things. So this is quite interesting, yeah.
That's great. We have just a couple minutes left, so I have to finish on your experience. You're a Fulbright teacher. You are in New York teaching Turkish language to students, and it's striking to say that you're coming from a place with a strong bagel-like tradition, and you're now living in a place with a different strong bagel-like tradition. Which do you prefer? Sorry to put you on the spot, but if you had to choose Turkish simit or a New York bagel, what would you choose?
Actually, I think I'll choose simit because I got used to it. Because when you get used to something, you already have it inside. So I like bagel as well. I shouldn't say anything opposite, but I really like bagel. But I think if I should choose between two, I would choose simit.
Would you put anything on a simit? You wouldn't put cream cheese or anything like that on it?
Actually, you may cut it like you do for bagel, and you can put some cheese, tomatoes, peppers, and you can make kind of sandwich to eat it. Actually, there are different types. Sometimes even they put some Nutella. But this is the one with cheese is the most famous, and they have cream cheese that are sold together. But if you don't want to try it with anything else, you can just eat alone. It can be eaten. No problem.
Great. Everybody's got their own way of doing it.
Sure.
Like. What has your time in New York been like? What have you been enjoying doing in New York?
Actually, I'm enjoying time in Central Park in Manhattan, and I like going around, going to museums, sightseeing, and I got used to ships, as I told you before. I like ship trips to Staten Island or different places around Hudson River or East River. So I'm enjoying my time when I have a free day, but in weekdays I teach Turkish or I join classes, so it's like that. But I'm really enjoying my time here.
Great. Well, we have a lot of New York City classrooms, and I'm sure they're glad to hear that you're enjoying their city. And now, to all Reach the World students, you now have a friend in Turkey. So
Yeah, of course.
when you get ready to study abroad or you're ready to go see more of the world, make sure you put Turkey on your list. And there's so much more to learn about that we didn't get a chance to talk about today, specifically about Turkey. But Begüm, you did an awesome job of giving us a big overview. I want to thank you for joining us. Thank you also to our entire live stream audience for going on this journey with us. Reach the World will be hosting many, many more Meet the World live stream events over the coming months. And you're, of course, all welcome to virtually travel the world with us. So you can visit athome.reachtheworld.org for more information. And until next time, we'll see you later. Thanks, Begüm.
You're welcome.